Oh my goodness, we have a lot to talk about. So what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We're not going to waste any time with an intro because we have injury concerns, multiple games of the years. We had 15 RBIs in one game from two players. If you did not watch that Dodgers game, I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. We do this every single day where we recap the best baseball news from the day before, so don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Also, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off. I mean, who doesn't love saving money? First and foremost, I want to talk about Jesus Luzardo because he must have been playing Battle Royale in MLB The Show 21 because he broke his pinky finger while playing video games. I was watching him pitch a few days ago and I just thought to myself, there's no way that Jesus Luzardo could be this bad while being healthy. And sure enough, it comes out that he broke his pinky and he kind of let his teammates down, I'm not going to lie. Now, the A's did bounce back because they beat the Orioles 7-5. Matt Olson, he's looking like Max Scherzer. Do you remember when Max Scherzer had a black eye a few years ago? Well, Olson was able to overcome that. He hits a home run, and then the rest of the game was Ramon Laureano's to win. He makes an insane grab in center field, and then guess what happens? He hits a home run to win it. So he saves the game from getting out of reach, and then he gives his team the lead with a home run. That was one of the best innings I've ever seen from a player in my life. I mean, aside from Fernando Tatis Jr.'s daddy, when he had 2 grand slams in one inning, that was cool too. Another injury update I have to talk about. Luis Robert, again, that's how you say his name, but for the sake of today's video, we'll say Luis Robert because I feel like everyone calls him that. I thought for a second that he was going to be done for quite some time because, of course, I'm a Cleveland fan, so I was watching this live and I thought, oh no, Luis Robert is going to be done for the rest of the year. Well, turns out the x-rays were negative. If you don't know what that means, that's a good sign. It means nothing's broken. For right now, nothing is torn, so it seems to be just a strain. We're hoping that he comes back in the next 10 days, but he's definitely going to be on the IL. And unfortunately, the White Sox, they kind of had salt poured on the wound because they were shut out yesterday. Zach Plesac finally outperforms the White Sox. Cesar Hernandez and Jose Ramirez, they both hit a home run. Both the White Sox and the Royals lost yesterday, so Cleveland gained a game on both of those teams. They are now 3 games back of first place, and might I just say, this Cleveland team is one of the most roller coaster squads I've ever seen. I have no idea what their ceiling is, and I have no idea what their floor is. Remember in the intro I talked about kind of the games of the year? Well, this was one of them. The Mets just barely beat the Phillies. The box score was 8-7, but there was so much more than just it being a close ball game. So when Didi Gregorius hit a 3-run home run, I'm thinking to myself, the Mets, they can't score any offense, but luckily Jacob deGrom was not on the mound, so they knew how to hit yesterday. So Kevin Pillar, he hits a home run, and then lack of effort on Rhys Hoskins' end, that allows Jonathan Villar to tie it up. I just don't understand what he was doing. Now, luckily, he did make up for it. We'll talk about that in just a second. Jose Alvarado absolutely sucked yesterday, and then Pete Alonso comes in and clears the bases against David Hale. Anytime you are facing the Phillies, you have a chance to make a comeback because their bullpen is atrocious. Now, the controversy of the night came when Rhys Hoskins tied it up for about 3 seconds. Edwin Diaz became Ed Luz Diaz all over again, but unfortunately, the Phillies fence, the piece of metal over in right field, not talking about the World Series trophy. Shout out to Robert Manfred. But yes, it stopped Rhys from tying up the ball game. And then Bryce Harper strikes out against Georges Familia. So the game was over at that point. Both of these teams didn't really play all that great all around. I know a lot of runs were scored. That was in large part because of like sloppy play and umpires being weird. Now, don't get me wrong, it was very entertaining. But from a baseball perspective, the fundamentals were all over the place. The Giants kind of sunned the Padres yesterday. They're showing the world that they are here and they're here to stay. Hopefully, I mean, they could fade off with the quickness. Fernando Tatis hits a home run, so he is now up to 8 on the season. He is balling out. His first 162 games, I'm going to throw up the graphic right now. He has been the real deal. So all of the, he hasn't played a full season yet. There you go. But again, yesterday, the story was the San Francisco Giants. That one run from Fernando Tatis, that was all that Kevin Gausman allowed. He goes the next 6 innings, not allowing anything. Mike Tauchman with 4 RBIs. He has been a fantastic addition. Tommy La Stella, who they got over the offseason, he had 2 RBIs. guys, the Giants will not stop. They stay in first place, so congratulations to them. They might be the real deal. They might not. I mean, who the heck knows at this point? Their pitching staff is really good, so I think you can bank on that for them being good the rest of the way. Trevor Story hit a home run in back-to-back games, but like I've been saying, the Diamondbacks offense is just way too good. Pavin Smith hits his third home run already of the season. Eduardo Escobar has yet another extra base hit. Vogt, Rojas, and Varsho then make it 8 runs. So the final score is Diamondbacks 8, Rockies 4, and the Diamondbacks are now second in all of baseball in runs scored. Now, in terms of their team ERA, they're 24. So if the Diamondbacks are going to go on a win streak, it's probably because they're scoring, 7 to 10 runs every single game. The Angels offense has been pretty good, but they got shut out for the first time yesterday, as pretty much their entire lineup is not doing very well against left-handed pitchers. So Justice Sheffield took advantage of that. He goes 6 shutout innings as the offense just needed one single run. Kendall Graveman, I do want to shout him out. He's almost pitched 12 innings as a relief guy. He's only allowed 3 hits, 0 earned runs. He has just been fantastic. I don't think that he is going to be a starter for the rest of his career. That was a big-time W. Their Mariners stay in second place. Now, another AL West team I want to bring up real quick, the Rangers. They won the series against the Boston Red Sox. Garrett Richards threw a fantastic game for the Red Sox. 5 innings, only 1 run, and struck out 7. But Garrett Whitlock, he has been fantastic ever since coming over from the Yankees. He gave up a home run, his first of the season. And then the Red Sox bullpen, who has generally been pretty solid to start 2021, they blow it. Kind of Falafa of the Rangers, as well as David Dahl and Brock Holt. They drive in all of those runs to go ahead, and the Red Sox are handed their second loss in a row to the Rangers of all teams. The Dodgers won 16-4, so you're probably thinking Mookie Betts had 2 home runs, Gavin Lux maybe had 3 or 4 RBIs, Justin Turner maybe a 5 RBI day. No. 15 of those runs were driven in by 2 guys. I can't even believe what I just said. AJ Pollock had 8 RBIs, Matt Beatty had 7 RBIs, and Julio Urias dominated yet again. 7 innings of scoreless baseball. He struck out 10. So the Dodgers are now a half game back of the Giants for first place. It is going to be a mad dash to the finish line. I fully expect the Dodgers to recoup and be in first place by the end of the year. But I mean, shout out to the Padres, shout out to the Giants, shout out to the Diamondbacks. They're playing great baseball. Andrelton Simmons and Mitch Garver make it 7-0, and then 4 more extra base hits from the Minnesota Twins. They make it 13 runs in the blink of an eye. I'm happy for the Twins, but I'm also going to call them out right now because they came out and said that after they started Alex Kirilloff, their top prospect, in the playoffs in 2020, then they said he wasn't good enough to be on the squad to begin 2021, so they were manipulating the service time, and guess what? He comes back, he joins the squad, he now has 4 home runs and 9 RBIs in his last 3 games, so he is showing everyone that, hey, I'm ready, and you Twins people better stop messing with me because I'm not going to go back down. He has proven that he is going to be a monster, hopefully for the next decade or so, because he has all the tools in the world. The Rays finally beat the Astros yesterday. Austin Meadows spoils a great start from Christian Javier. Bad defense ties it up again, and then Manuel Margot singles in the 7th inning as the bullpen is able to shut it down. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Rays are in 4th place, but even though they're in 4th place, they're only 3 games back of 1st place. So just like the NL West, just like the American League Central, every division is going to be a sprint. Well, I guess you can't really say sprint because it's not a 60-game season, it's 162, but still, I feel like there's a lot of urgency right now. Aside from the Padres versus Dodgers series, I would say this Reds versus Cubs series has been the most entertaining of 2021. Both starters, I'm not even going to mention the final score yet, both starters gave up 6 earned runs, and there was about 10 combined home runs hit in yesterday's game. Tucker Barnhart and Nick Castellanos, they make it 12-8, and I'm thinking, yo, this game is over. Ian Happ says, no chance, I'm going to tie it up, and then guess what happens? Of course, Nick Castellanos comes back. He has 5 hits in yesterday's ball game, 2 home runs. He wins it with a walk-off, so the final score was 13-12, and I do also want to mention that Chris Bryant had 2 taters in yesterday's game. He is now up to 9 home runs and a 204 OPS plus. If you did not know, Wilson Contreras of the Chicago Cubs has a brother, William, and that's all that Ross Stripling was allowing of the Braves. He said, nah, stop. That's enough. I'm not going to allow any more. Jansen, Marcus Semien, and Bo Bichette, they drive in 4 RBIs, and then Semien, for good measure, he adds some more, so 4 total RBIs for Marcus Semien on the day. The Blue Jays are now on a 3-game winning streak. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Expect them to catch fire now that their lineup is almost complete. The Braves, on the other hand, have lost 4 games in a row, and it's kind of like an all-hands-on-deck situation. It is May Day. You're about to eject out of the jet. I mean, what do we make of the Atlanta Braves? Let me know in the comment section down below. Are they a 4th place team, or are they just kind of injury riddled? The Cardinals pick up their 4th win in a row as Harrison Bader hits a home run in his 3rd game back, coming back from injury. And do we have prime Carlos Martinez back in business? The Cardinals won 3-0 over the Pirates because C-Mart was dominant. 8 innings, did not allow a single earned run. That is now 3 consecutive starts in which he has allowed 1 run or fewer. So the Cardinals are now 1 game back of the Brewers with their 4-game winning streak. The Nationals, old man Ryan Zimmerman didn't look so old yesterday with a 3-run home run. He is now up to 4 bombs on the season and a near 160 OPS plus. Evan Longoria, Buster Posey, Ryan Zimmerman, they're all showing that even at their kind of older age, they can still get the job done. And then Max Scherzer, to me, is the story of the entire day. He throws a complete game, and the reason why it's so crazy is because he immediately drove to the hospital because his wife was in labor. So he says, honey, I gotta go pitch, but I'm gonna make it quick. He throws a complete game, he sprints to the hospital, and he's able to make it. Baseball is so romantic. And then last but not least, the Yankees. I wanted to kind of flip it up today and talk about the West Coast teams and then talk about the East Coast, because usually I talk about the Padres and the Dodgers and the Giants last. But today the Yankees come last, but definitely not least because they are back in business. Jose Urena gave up 2 runs in the 2nd, and that was all that she wrote for the Yankees offense. But because the Tigers are so horrible in regards to offense, Akil Baddoo has fallen off the face of the earth, and that might be in part because Corey Kluber turned into Corey Klubat. 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, did not allow a single earned run. Again, what do we make about the Yankees' recent winning stretch? Is it because they faced the Orioles and Tigers back-to-back, or are the Yankees actually back in business and going to be good for the foreseeable future? Chapman, I do have to say, Aroldis Chapman, he has 24 strikeouts in 10 innings. That should not be possible. All right, everyone. Well, that does it for today's MLB recap. We talked about a lot today, so thank you all so much if you made it until the end. Do not forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off. Follow me on my social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I stream almost every day. It's at Fuzzy from YT. Every single social media is at Fuzzy from YT. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there and enjoy this day in MLB history.
Back off the bag at first. Here's the payoff pitch. And a line drive, caught by Tolbert. He's done it. He has done it. Francisco Liriano has pitched a no-hitter over the Chicago White Sox.